Welcome back. No secret, tech's been on a tear. It's up 28% in the past 3 months. Nvidia, one of the best performers, jumping 57% during that time to hit another record high today. Look at it at 173. That's helped push the S&P and the Nasdaq to record levels. The S&P is up more than 15% since April, the Nasdaq up 21%. And all of these big moves have investors questioning what comes next, a further breakout or a breakdown. Joining us with her answer is Danielle Shay, the Vice President of Options at Simpler Trading. Putting it all on you, Danielle. You gotta tell us which way is it going. It's great to see you. Welcome.
It's great to see you, Kelly. Well, I'm a momentum trader and I love trading this momentum. And as of right now, I'm continuing to focus on stocks and sectors that continue to break to new highs. So I'm focusing on the relative strength stocks in the Mag 7. I love cybersecurity right here. We also have quantum names and we have nuclear names that continue to break out. So long as this trend continues, I'm going to keep riding it.
So we were talking to Lori Calvasina earlier this week, who said her momentum factor, which is more like best performing stocks over the past 12 months, that began stalling out in early July. I've heard others saying earlier this week we had like a big momentum day to the downside. So are you picking up on some of that, or is that a rotation, or maybe you're just looking at more idiosyncratic parts of the market?
Well, there's definitely the factor that the market has gotten a little bit soft at the highs. We're not seeing extreme breakouts, except for in names that have high short float and those top Mag 7 names. So what you really want to look for when the market's at highs like this is you want to look for tickers that have at least 10 to 15% short float, because what happens is when that high is hit, those stocks typically keep going. So that's primarily what I'm looking for right here. And then I'm also focused on earnings. You have to look at tickers that performed really well last quarter over earnings, because what happens is that you continue to see those stocks breaking out going into the report. And then if they have a positive report, breaking out after the fact.
And what do you make of the market overall? We were just showing some of your thoughts there about, put call ratio and so forth. What would you be watching if you were looking for signs that this is kind of running out of steam?
So certainly the put call ratio is a warning sign. Typically when the put call ratio is below 0.7, we have a lot of longs out there, right? And so that reduces the amount of volume that's able to come into the market to continue that breakout. So it is a warning sign for me because the put call ratio is below 0.7 right now. But the fact of the matter is that we continue trading higher. So what generally happens when the put call ratio is too low is there's some bad news someday, maybe a terrible earnings report from a Mag 7 stock, maybe it's something political. What you see is that the market will gap down maybe 2% overnight, and then that's when all of the buyers start to flush out. But because we haven't had a major catalyst like that, the put call ratio remains low and buyers continue buying.
Do you think that's coming? Do you think as we go into August, people say, well, I think that, or worst month of the year, or a tough seasonal trading time and so forth? Or do you think that based on what you're watching, that we can continue kind of calmly moving higher here?
I think that it depends on earnings, because what often happens is that the market is very strong throughout July. This is seasonal. People are excited about earnings, and then earnings come out, and then there's just a lack of a catalyst to continue driving the market higher. And so oftentimes we do see that seasonal pullback in August. So it's something that I'm looking for, and it could possibly occur. But here's the thing, Kelly, is that we have a lot of cybersecurity names and then also the chip makers that are reporting in August as well. So this could continue pushing the market higher depending on the way that the market reacts to major earnings from Meta, Microsoft, and Amazon coming up, and then seeing how the run continues going into those names into the end of August.
Yeah, because for now, as you're saying, it's kind of the Mag 7 and some of the meme stocks. The Mag 7, obviously, names are well known. You said you also are watching the payment stocks, Affirm, SoFi, Palo Alto in the cyberspace, Net, and you got long Reddit lately.
Yes, that's correct. Reddit has high short float and it has a bullish pattern that I love. Affirm and SoFi, again, they have some high short float and they have earnings coming up. You definitely want to focus on the stocks that performed well over earnings last quarter, because those are typically the ones that rally the best going into earnings. And then also because of the short float, if they happen to do really well or even just better than expected, oftentimes they'll gap up after earnings and cause a major squeeze.
All right, that's the playbook, Danielle. Always appreciate it. Thank you today. We
Thank you.
appreciate your time. Danielle Shay with Simpler Trading.